Hi there, Eric Bakker, naturopath from New Zealand. Thanks for coming back. We're talking about mold today. So we're talking about a 5-step treatment program, or five treatments basically on how you can deal with mold, what you can do with this problem. So hopefully you've watched the other videos and you've got a feel for what mold toxicity has a potential for. It can make people very sick. So number one, the first thing that you have to do, hands down, if you don't do this, there's nothing else we can help you with. You've got to remove yourself from the environment. You've heard me mention that many times in the previous videos to work out if the environment's causing you a problem or if the environment's not causing you a problem. And the only way you're going to know that is by removing yourself completely out of that environment and go somewhere else. Preferably somewhere sunny and dry where you've not got the problem with mold. All right? So don't even think about the treatment if you can't remove yourself from the environment. It's like if you're in a bad marriage, don't even think about trying to get rid of your headaches and all the aches and pains in your body if you're living with someone that's treating you really bad. There's no point doing that, all right? If you're a gambler in Las Vegas, don't even think about buying a house. It's not going to happen, all right? So you must do A before you can get to B. I hope you get that point. You've got to get yourself out of that environment. That's the first thing you do. Second thing that you can do is you can start. Some people recommend binders, for example. You know, these could be like clay or charcoal or zeolite or different things to help remove toxins from the body. These can work quite effectively and they can enhance detoxification as well. So you need to treat the biofilms or the mold in the body and on the body because people can develop skin problems externally as well as gut problems and immune problems internally from mold. So enhancing detoxification and taking things to improve kidney and liver clearance is very important to do. But remember, if you don't do A, you ain't going to go to B. You've got to get your butt out of that area, and then we can look at detoxification and cleansing. All right? So, common locations of colonization, which I mentioned, include things like the lungs, the vagina, the bladder, the gut, the sinuses, the surface of the skin. So if you've got problems in these particular areas, they may need spot treatment for those areas. Overall detoxification will facilitate the cleansing as well. You may want to do some stool testing to determine for candida, parasites, other bacteria, molds in the body, fungus in the body. You could be finding anything in the stool. So it pays to get the core of the body in great shape. So ask your functional medicine doctor for a comprehensive stool test, including parasitology. You may even want to extend that and do a bit of mold testing on the stool or the urine or the saliva. There are different ways that your doctor can test for mold. Do them at the same time as a stool test to give you and the practitioner a very good feel of what the overall picture is, what you're dealing with. So, and then treatment can be tailor-made to suit you. So I think that was number 2. We've gone to number 3 now. Let's have a look here. Yeah. As I mentioned, get rid of these biofilms, but let's go deeper into the pathways in with detoxification, all right? We're going to make a bit of a diet overhaul at the same time. So that'll be number 3, is a diet change. Make sure that you take the allergy-stimulating foods out of the diet. Also the foods high in sugar and the foods with a high tendency to, push candida up in the body. So molds love sugars and carbs and starchy foods. Alcohols, thrive on those kinds of things. So I'm going to read out a list of different foods here which will help you as well to avoid these common mycotoxin potential foods. Peanuts, don't worry, I haven't got mold. It's one of my tics. I cough a little bit sometimes. One of the common things that people eat are peanuts. I don't really like peanuts at all. I think they're a crappy food when it comes to this problem. Be careful of grains in general, especially grains because they can be stored in silos and attract mold. This could be wheat, barley, oats, rye. So if you've got a really big mold problem, you want to avoid grains for a while, for several months. Of course, cheeses, soft cheeses, alcoholic beverages, wine, beer, tree nuts, lots of spices. Dried fruits are a big no-no if you've got a mold problem, especially things like figs. But you also want to be careful with coffee, tea, and cinnamon and spices like that because they can contain molds. So just check that out and make sure you carefully check that out before you start taking those things into your diet. So that was number 3. Let's look at number 4, air filtration. Have you ever thought about air filtration? You may want to even invest in some kind of a flow system for your house to push more fresh air through. Some people have air ionizers, to ionize the air. Other people have fresh air exchange systems or special air conditioning units with HEPA filtration, where they filter out molds from the air. That's another option, is get out of that house, get into a new house, get a good air system in there, and maintain that airflow to really improve your air quality in your body, right? That's number 4. Number 5, environment. We talked about moving house, but now also I always like to talk to people about stress in their life, about job satisfaction, being in good relationships with people, positive professional and personal relationships, making sure you've got no adrenal or thyroid issues, which could really affect your underlying immune response. Many people with mold have got an immune dysfunction. So the last thing you want is to have high stress in your diet, which is further going to compromise your immune system. If you're also potentially sick like this, you don't want to push your body too hard in terms of sports-wise, academically or socially. You don't want to push yourself too hard, folks. You want to back off and allow your body to relax and build that good system back up again, right? You can't do that when you're really highly strung out. So that gives you a few ideas on my recommendation for the treatment. One further tip I like to add, if you do think you've got a mold problem, is to get some essential oils. You can actually fog or mist that into the air, which is going to counter a lot of the mycotoxin responses that your body may be feeling. There are very good companies, Young Living, I think. Young Living is the name of a company that make very good essential oils, and so did doTERRA, DOTERRA. They make very good essential oils. They also make little gadgets that pump or mist that into your environment. They've got special blends there for respiratory. So they would be good little adjuncts to your treatment as well, is to put that in there. Okay, purify the air, put some nice smells in there, change your food, look at detection. So these are a couple of core things that you can do. If you're seriously sick with mold, you'll need to go to a specialty doctor. There are different centers in US and in Europe where they can really help you if you're extremely sick. Some people get so unwell with mold toxicity they need to be in a hospital. But oftentimes it's completely overlooked by the medical profession. But check it out. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Please subscribe if you're not a subscriber.